be right to be excited. We're gonna wait for the other nymphs to get in. I am excited. Brighter days are ahead, Harley. Um, how was your day going? How was your day?
It's been okay. Could have been
Okay,
better. Could have
could
been
have been better.
better.
Did
Some personal stuff, with the car and everything, but it will not rain on the parade, on the Bulls on parade. Let's say that
I
of
haven't
Demico Ryans.
saved that name for when it gets packed, and I'm gonna have a reaction for that. All
Oof.
right, dude. If I it
I
just What's up, Oscar? Waiting for more people to get here. Oscar, like, share, and let
Why does he
everyone know
look
that we're
familiar?
live.
I think he follows my channel. He looks familiar.
Oscar's Oscar's a real one.
He probably follows my channel.
What is today? Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday. Let me go ahead and plug the live.
Oh yeah.
Let me see what
What's
is.
up? What up, Nathan?
Yo,
What up, people? 9 people deep already.
watch
What
the
up,
film.
Frank?
Watch the film. As long as I don't have chicken on a napkin in here.
You know who I miss?
What's up?
I don't know if you remember the name Dookie Sore, but
Dude, he was fire. He was
that
a
name,
mainstay on your channel.
I haven't heard that name in years.
For real. Like, what happened?
If you can find Dookie Sore, I miss him. Shout out to Dookie.
Dookie Source, bro.
The
He,
press
when
conference is tomorrow at
4?
4. Harley, I don't know if you want to go live immediately after.
We'll have to check.
But we'll or go live later on during the night. Big
That or
news.
we could do a space even.
We could even do a space, man. We're trying to take over spaces on Twitter. Nathan said what stream we smoking on that Gorilla Glue here. I'm hitting the Blue Moon tonight. Shout out to Blue Moon. I had to go to 4 different gas stations to find this beer, Harley.
Why didn't you just go to Specs?
I live in the hood, bro. Wait.
True. There's not like an
I live in
alcohol, like a liquor depot, or
I went to like 4 gas stations, no Blue Moon. I went to Fiesta, nothing. Bro, I remember someone saying that you were chewing rocks on one of your vids. That was foul. He's talking about my teeth, bastards. Jokes are always fun. Go Texans. Shout out to Rondell.
of
Watch
course.
the film. Thank you for the $20. He said, bro, thanks for staying up with the fam. I like how Landry Locker shouts y'all out. We got great media here in H-Town. We real sports nation. Well, since we're starting this stream and it gives us a minute to talk about everyone else, Landry's killing it.
Big time.
He is dropping, I think, man, this dude drops like 2 videos a day sometimes. It's hard to keep up with them. He is murdering it. OG Cody Stutes has himself a channel, which is doing quite
Back up
successful
again,
as well. Man, dude, Cody Stutes was one of the reasons I started my channel, bro. He let me go to 610, meet everyone, and then that's all she wrote. Who else? CCE, Clutch City Entertainment, Drew and them.
Sure.
Patrick Storm, he has a podcast coming out. Fan with Sources, that one I'm excited for.
I am too.
We will be on that one also. Of course, John Kumpler and Cody Johnson. A lot of media, man.
They need a podcast.
Those two need a podcast together.
They're just great to look at in the group chat. I have so much fun.
It's like they start arguing as soon as the sun comes up. There is no, it's just straight. It's just straight, Twitter hands between those two.
It's fun. It's definitely fun. It goes down in the group chat, as we say.
Shout out to the group chat. We might have to have our own group chat one day, Harley. The HOU versus you podcast chat. Shout out to shout out to our, to our show. It's been doing good lately. We'll be able to plug that in later. But the news of today, Harley, or yesterday, That is Demico Ryans is officially the head coach of the Houston Texans. What was your first reaction? Where were you? And what does this mean for the future of our team?
Okay, where was I? I was driving to University of Houston downtown
Okay.
because my girlfriend had to go to class. And so I'm driving there and I get the breaking news. I'm listening to 610 only because I want to know when this is about to happen. Because I knew it was happening. We all knew this was happening. The tea leaves were everywhere. And Storm's in our chat. He was already letting us know, like, hey, it's about to happen soon.
Yeah.
Which I was a little upset because I wasn't home. I wanted to do the video immediately because I did one, but it didn't really fall in. It just didn't work out. But anyway, so I'm driving. Here though, breaking news on 610.
Fuck.
Sean Payton signs with the Denver Broncos.
Oh!
I was like, oh, wait, this isn't what I want to hear. I don't give a rat's ass about Sean Payton. I don't give a rat's ass about Sean
I think he's
Payton.
talking to you, Harley. Shout out to my boy Dom, my partner in crime, my co-worker, home of Team PF. Shout out to him. What is up from Austin, Texas? We are here in
ATX.
H-Town. Freaking cold here. But as I love to
Yeah.
say, H-Town too, Redron Hardy. I didn't mean to cut you off. Continue,
No
my
problem.
guy.
The breaking news hits. It's Sean Payton to the Denver Broncos. And I'm going, oh. And all I hear, oh my God. Like real quick, all I hear is Show and Clint start crying for Sean Payton. And I'm like, guys, what are we crying about? Why? We really want this old ass coach to come in here and start this rebuild because we ain't winning immediately.
No.
We got to have a perfect situation for him to come in.
We do.
Like, I mean, it didn't make no sense whatsoever. They've been wanting him. They've been banging on the table for him. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Clint is biased for offense, and Show is just a yes man. He backs up whatever Clint is. The show should be like that 3 to 5, 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock show should be called Clint and his bitch. Like, because literally all Ron does is agree to everything. He has no opinion whatsoever. The only time they disagree is about Yuli Gurriel. And it's like nails on a chalkboard when they start talking Astros, even Rockets. But I digress. Okay, I digress. Because immediately 2 minutes later, breaking news, I thought, oh, okay, they're just going to talk about Sean Payton again. Again, I'm not on my phone. Phone doesn't go off when I'm driving, Breaking news, Tyler Milner. It has happened, boys. And the goosebumps are coming back again. Demico Ryans is the next head coach of the Houston Texans. 6-year contract. Let's fucking go. That is my fucking reaction. I slam my hand on the steering wheel. I don't care. I nearly wrecked. I don't care. It's Demico Ryans. He is going to change this organization. I have that faith. I have to have that faith. I love that guy too much. I watched him as a kid. I watched him in my childhood. I was depressed when they traded him to the Eagles. Obviously didn't understand the business of football as a kid. I just saw, man, that's one of my favorite players they traded away when they were trying to save some money and whatnot. Demico Ryans is now the head coach of the Houston Texans. If I told you a decade ago is what, 2012. That's the year he got traded in the offseason. And you're upset because we traded Demico Ryans, and I come from the future and tell you, look, man, chin up, because Demico Ryans is about to lead the Houston Texans to a Super Bowl one day in this great organization, in this dysfunctional organization. I am super ecstatic, super happy about Demico Ryans as my next head coach. Let's fucking go. Let's move forward. Okay. This is the guy.
This is the guy. It is up, like my boy Wasim says. Dude, I was I was taking a dump, bro, when when the news came out. I don't even think I wiped. I jumped and ran straight to my phone. This is exactly what you want as a Houston Texans fan. And you know what's insane, bro? Didn't they say not too long ago no one wanted to come here?
Interesting. Really?
Didn't our own media want to quit on this team?
Yeah, keep going.
Didn't the lifelong fans quit on this team?
Oh, some of them sure did. Some of them
Didn't
sure did.
Julian Edelman called us irrelevant?
Whew.
And now here we are, almost 2 weeks later, and I can honestly say the Houston Texans hired the hottest coaching candidate this offseason, and he just so happens to be a former Houston Texan, a former rookie defensive player of the year, Pro Bowler, captain for the Eagles, was in charge of the best defense the past 2 years in the NFL. When you have a young core like Derek Stingley, Jalen Peachy, Christian Harris, you want those dogs under Demico Ryans. You see the amount of love they had there in San Fran for Demeco. Fred Warner said it was emotional seeing him after the
He
game.
cried.
He cried, a grown man crying for another grown man. And hey, also we got to talk about Jeffree fucking Star. Who is it?
Who is this? Look, for you got to elaborate for the people that don't know.
For those
I'll
of
let
you
you
who
have this
don't
one. I'll let you
know,
have the baton.
for those of you who don't know, and then I'll hop right quick back on Demico Ryans. Jeffree Star is I think a makeup mogul, and he posted a picture with a supposed NFL player, skinny ankles, and everyone is trying to figure out who is Jeffree Star sleeping with. We don't know.
Nope.
But the GOAT Tom Brady's name has been thrown around. Justin Herbert's name has been thrown around. We are comparing the veins of people to that guy. It's insane. And we'll find out more about that. But back to Demico Ryans.
Shout out to the detective work there, man.
Shout out to the detective work. Shout out to that. Oh my God. That is insane. Can you imagine if it's the GOAT?
Can you imagine if it's Tim Tebow?
Mm.
Someone said Tim Tebow, and I died. Like the Christian that is Tim Tebow, Mister. We know he likes to get down on his knees.
Oh my God.
I mean, at least we know that. We know Tebow would like to get down on his knees. Like we know that. Tebow's down for it, man. He's used to looking up.
Bro, like it's insane.
That's a
Nonetheless,
crazy
bro.
story, man.
Dude, man,
Crazy.
imagine someone
off the rails storyline.
Ryan Griffin. Oh, imagine. Nah, that'd be crazy.
Former Houston Texans legend. If he's in there, he might punch your way out of there. He'll punch his window out of there, man.
He punched the hell out of the window.
Back
to Demico Ryans. I don't know how the hell we start talking about Jeffree Star, but Demico Ryans, he solved so much of the issues for the Houston Texans, right? You have an issue of culture. He brings it as soon as he steps into the building. You have an absence of a leader. Yes, people, they loved David Culley. They loved Lovie Smith. There's love, and then there's respect, and then there's following, right? And I could love someone all I want, but I love someone, but I'm not gonna follow them.
Yeah.
Demico Ryans commands the locker room.
Hmm.
You know, there was an article that came out and said how the players up there in Detroit love Dan Campbell because he's been there, done that,
Yes.
and he did it as a tight end. He wasn't on, the defensive side of the ball, but when you look at Demico Ryans, he did that, and he did that with this damn bull on the side of his helmet with the C on his chest. He knows the deep steel blue, battle red, liberty white. This is the perfect hire for the Houston Texans. This is a home run. You are now starting to hear everyone say how good of a job the Houston Texans have done, and
Hmm.
it is only up from here.
Yeah, man. The Texans are on top right now. They are the darlings of the NFL. You even have guys like Louis Riddick, who's been so degrading the Houston Texans organization just because he didn't get hired for GM.
Yeah,
Shameless, if you ask me. I mean, that's just a big old bitch move. Like, come on, dude. Don't be a big old bitch. If you want to cry and bitch and moan and complain, do it on your personal time. But you want to get on there on the platforms and you want to do that, come on, man. That's just weak. That's lame as hell. Okay. But he had some nice things to say. He had some nice things to say about the Houston Texans, which I was shocked. But I shouldn't be because everyone loves this hire. Everyone. Ryan Clark,
everyone.
who was critical of the Texans for
Yep.
firing Lovie Smith
What
and implied that we were racist.
if I could cut you off?
Go ahead.
Remember how mad he was when we fired Cully and we fired
Dude,
Lovie Smith?
insane.
And I quote, "We knew David Cully wasn't a head coach. We knew
Hmm.
Lovie Smith wasn't a head coach.
Right?
The Houston Texans found their head coach." How quick the narrative changes, Jacob. Thank you for the $1.99. When you're asking about staff, who better than this man, the lead right here, Hardy? Jacob has this question to you. Who do you think should be the new OC? Who is a new DC? I'm excited.
Yeah, so in regards to that, from what we know so far, they've interviewed Bobby Slowick. And to me, that's probably your offensive coordinator from the San Francisco 49ers. He used to work on the defensive side of the ball with Demeco, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then he transitioned to offense. That's something that Shanahan loves doing with his positional coaches. He loves making them feel a little uncomfortable, maybe, coach some areas that they're not an expert at. But he likes them to learn the different facets of the game in terms for all of his offensive staff. He's always done this. So someone like Bobby Slowick seems like is highly coveted by the 49ers, and rightfully so. So, yeah, he should probably be your new all-offensive coordinator. That would be my prediction. Excuse me. But do the 49ers let that happen? I mean, who knows? Can they block the move? I'm not sure. I don't think they can. He would be getting a promotion if he
Mm-hmm.
came to the Texans. So you can't block anyone. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I don't think you can block anyone from a promotion, only a lateral move.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Bobby Slowick could come here and yeah, he's a first time, coordinator, no coordinating experience, but again, yeah, Troy Walters was the next guy I was going to get into. Troy Walters is quite interesting, actually. He's a guy that worked with Scott Frost from 2017 to 2020 with University of Central Florida, or actually before 17 to 20. That was when he was with University of Central Florida with Scott Frost. And as we know, those teams went undefeated for almost 2 straight years, I per se. And Troy Walters was also up there as a Broyles Award finalist. If nobody knows what the Broyles Award is, that is the top coordinator in college. Okay. And then other than that, you got, excuse me. Other than that, you have Nick Haley. I think that's supposed to be someone else. I think his name is, I don't remember his last name being Haley, but he's the guy from the Patriots. More on Troy Walters real quick because I didn't finish. he's with the Bengals currently. He works with Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor took him immediately after he got let go from Nebraska in 2020. Zach Taylor again works with Sean McVay. Sean McVay worked with Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan in Washington. So again, the Gary Kubiak Shanahan tree still is in this NFL everywhere. Troy Walters could have a similar footprint to that. Who knows? Could be different. I don't know that. He's a little bit of an unknown, but he is quite interesting. Nick Haley, and I don't remember his actual last name. I don't think that's his actual last name, but he is with the Patriots. I don't know too much on him, actually. Yeah, Nick Haley. There we go. I don't know too much on him. I know he's a tight ends coach. I do question why he's never been promoted within the organization, in regards to some other guys that have been promoted, like Bill O'Brien. And
Yeah.
I don't think Bill O'Brien is the greatest play caller. I think he's about an average, mediocre play caller. He has some bright moments that we've seen from in the past, with a little bit of razzle-dazzle moments. But overall, it wasn't anything that is going to let the world on fire. Nick Haley, I do question why he never got a promotion. But that's someone I have to do a little more deep diving on. Obviously, he has the connection to Nick Caserio with the Patriots. So, with all of that, I think at the end of the day, offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick, defensive coordinator Chris Koserick. We were on that space with Cole Thompson. And he basically didn't want to confirm, but confirmed that Chris Koserick would be the defensive coordinator with Demico Ryans, which is a home run coordinator to grab. He's regarded as the best defensive line coach in the NFL. So much to get into with Chris Koserick. If anybody is interested in him, I have the Athletic article and a YouTube video you could watch detailing from a guy that covers the 49ers and their training camp. It's a great video to watch on Chris Koserick. Highly, highly recommend. If anybody's interested, I could drop that in the comments below.
Yeah, not only drop that down below, drop the link to the podcast. We are doing one called the HOU versus you, where not only do we talk Texans, we talk the Astros, we talk the Rockets, boxing, UFC. So Hardy's gonna drop the link down there below. We will be giving away. He is giving away a signed Demico Ryans football. I am giving away this mini Houston Texans helmet. So once you subscribe to our podcast, like I said, is HOU versus you, who drop the link down below. Let me know so we could enter you in that one. But I'll go ahead while Harley is searching everything up. It is exciting when you're talking about, the potential staff that's coming, because that Demico Ryans is going to do his best to bring every single person he can to make us better. The question that I thought about today, and I'm going to do a video on it tomorrow, the idea of former 49ers players coming to the Houston Texans. You saw Fred Warner, say something when it mentioned us talking about Bobby Slowick and Chris Kosher. Someone else posted a picture of Demico Ryans getting sent to the Houston Texans with emojis and a two fingers twisted together, and that was Trey Lance. What do you think about the Houston Texans trading for Trey Lance? I'm gonna give you my take first, and it's why not?
Yeah.
If you're gonna bring in Demico Ryans, and I heard the 49ers are gonna ask for a third round pick.
That was reported by Mike Silver. I still wonder how true it is, but
I'll give him 2 third-round picks.
I might.
If you trade for Trey Lance, it's Davis Mills versus Trey Lance. Obviously, you hope Trey Lance wins that. You hope he will. And then at 2, you worry about Will Anderson or Jalen Carter falling to you at 2, and then whatever the hell happens at 12. But when you're talking about Trey Lance coming out of was it North Dakota State University?
Yes. Or I think it's just North Dakota, but it's the same one with Carson Wentz.
Yeah, same one with Carson. I think like 40 touchdowns, 2 interceptions or 5
Insane.
interceptions is compared to Dak Prescott, very mobile QB. He beat us, when we played against him in Davis Mills. His this will be his third year entering in the NFL. Why the hell not? If you're gonna bring in Bobby Slowick, and who's gonna bring in that Shanahan offense, well, bring in someone who's been studying it for the past 2 years in Trey Lance.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that. I really am, and I'm interested in it. I understand there's some injury concern with Trey Lance. I get that, but I go back to Nick Caserio saying that if he's going to go down swinging, he's going to do whatever it takes, and he'll be damned if he doesn't go down swinging. That was the quote. Hey, what bigger swing is there to take than trading a third-round pick for Trey Lance and taking that opportunity to say, hey, maybe Trey Lance, if you can reach his potential, you have the connections there with Bobby Slowick, maybe even someone else that comes along from the 49ers staff, along with Demeco. Now it becomes a very real possibility that maybe Trey Lance could be traded to Houston. Honestly, and just to be devil's advocate, honestly, why would the Niners trade him? Because he's on a rookie deal. He's on a rookie contract. He doesn't cost you anything. You have Brock Purdy. I understand he has that UCL injury. He's going to have Tommy John surgery, and I mean, you got both of those guys on rookie deals.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy being cheaper because he was Mr. Irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
And so we already heard Shanahan and Mike and John Lynch had their little press conference, and they said Jimmy Garoppolo is not coming back.
Yeah.
So that leaves 2 quarterbacks. You got to have a backup.
Mm-hmm.
Have the open QB battle between both of them. And let's be real. Trey Lance is talented enough. No, that's disrespectful. Trey Lance is so much more talented than Brock Purdy. He should wipe the floor with him in a quarterback challenge, right? He should not shy away from this. You're a competitor, man. This is what you live up for. This is battles.
Soft from 2/3.
Exactly. Well, I would. But if he doesn't win this QB battle, and Brock Purdy ends up being the starting quarterback for this team, hey, I'm definitely willing to roll the dice and see what Trey Lance can do here with a Texan jersey on.
No, I mean, it's just exciting, right? To even think about it. Former first-round pick. I think it was was it top 10?
3.
Top 5, man.
Yes.
And gets injured last year, sits his first year, right? Plays against us, does beat us. I think, how many games did he win as a rookie?
Oh, man. 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Because I know he got hurt.
Yeah, so...
Which,
that's
been the thing with him.
Concerns are there. If you're the Houston Texans, do you take the risk? I would. Frank asked about J.J. Watt coming back and being a defensive quality coach or defensive end coach.
Not happening.
Not happening. Not right now. He wants to be with his family.
I hate to sound
he
like
even
an asshole.
talked about it, himself, that it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I hate to sound like an asshole when I say I just shoot you down, but I hate to. I mean, it's not happening. Andre Johnson as wide receivers coach, not happening.
No.
Arian Foster at running backs coach, not happening.
And you just heard him say the NFL was scripted.
Let's get into that real quick. What in the world? Look, why are people believing this? It's obvious he was joking.
Because everything's around money, bro, and people rig shit, dude.
Look,
like that NBA ref who is 28-2 when he refs the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
When you have shit like that, when boxing is heavily rigged, you're but honestly, when it comes to football, dude, it's kind of hard, hard to rig 22, players on the fields. But I'll tell you what, those refs can be crooked as hell.
Yes. That
Listen,
is
dude.
true.
Listen, dude. I don't care. I used to ref high school football here in Texas. Shout out to Tasso. If I saw the amount of shit they would do to be chosen to be the Friday varsity, team, I can only imagine what the NFL, refs will be doing.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
however, a script, nah, right? I don't think anyone's getting the script and seeing, that they're gonna lose half their knee and they're okay with it, right? So it's funny, it's interesting. Shout out to Arian Foster though. Um, Obviously he's gonna endorse Demico Ryans. A lot of former Houston Texans have endorsed Demico Ryans. Even K-Jack, after he was so critical of the Houston Texans, giving praises for us, for hiring Demico Ryans. And it seems like the narrative of dysfunction and irrelevancy has been thrown out the window. And it's not, and now it's really been a full 24 hours of Demico Ryans being the Houston Texans head coach. And it hasn't even been a press conference hardly. And yet we're feeling like brighter days are ahead for this franchise. And when it comes to free agency, what does this mean for the Houston Texans? We're gonna have between 40 and I think 60 mil.
Yeah, something around that.
Shout out to Texans Cap. Does a great job.
Amazing.
But what does this mean for the Houston Texans and free agency? Because, like you said, this is the year where he said, "I'm gonna go down swinging." Him being Nick Casario.
Look, you mentioned Trey Lance on Instagram.
Yep.
I mean, Jimmy Ward on Instagram. I
Mm-hmm.
already had the eyeball emoji and the interesting. He typed out interesting.
Yep.
With Demico Ryans coming here. Don't be, I would not be shocked if the Houston Texans have a big free agency. They finally got the head coach they wanted,
Yep.
which, it obviously wasn't Gannon, and because if it was, he would have been hired last year. So, and whatever happened, happened. At the end of the day, you got the guy you wanted.
Yeah.
You got the number one head coaching candidate on the market.
No
Pro
question.
Football Talk called us dysfunctional.
Yep.
They said that how can this dysfunctional team land Demico Ryans? Why would he want to go there?
Yep.
Well, guess what? The most dysfunctional team in football landed the number one coach on the market. That happened.
And no one thought we were going to. You saw every tweet that was surrounded the Houston Texans. Josina Anderson will write something cryptic about us and why. It was, but listen, bro, when you're a Houston Texans fan, you have the right to be worried. For the past 2.5 years, bro, everything that could go wrong with this franchise did fucking go wrong. No draft capital, no money, a quarterback who liked fingers in his buttholes. Yet we had to deal with that. We had to hire our third head coach and really our fourth head coach in 4 years. And the talks of why do I have this in my hand? And the talks of dysfunction,
you can't deny
and
someone with a tahini bottle.
like it's there. Like you could see. I was so scared, Harley, for this team's future, bro. Because if it wasn't right, I was sold on Ben Johnson. I wanted Ben Johnson.
Okay.
Going back to Detroit, you're like, okay. We already know Demeco's not gonna want to come here, right? This is before he, said, in interview with the Texans.
Rumored,
We were like, oh man, okay, well, it's either gonna be Steichen or Gannon. With Gannon, he interviewed twice. You're like, all right, this is the front runner with Steichen. You're seeing what he could do with, what he did with Herbert and Hurts and Phillip Rivers. But now when you're talking about Demeco, it's a breath of fresh air, right? I woke up today with a smile and I said, I have a head coach. And honestly, for the past 4 or 5 years, even when we had Bill O'Brien, you can say the Houston Texans haven't had a head coach, man. And now I finally feel like I do. And I don't want to just drink the Kool-Aid because it's hard not to, bro.
It
You
is.
see
It
this
is.
type of stuff in TV shows.
Yeah. Who
The
said that?
the guy who comes back to the team that drafted him takes a piece of shit team, the worst team in the NFL, and takes them to the promised land. This is like the Angels in the outfield. And it's like now we just need to
There we
see it
go.
play out. Now we just need to see it play out. That's all we need to see it do, man. And it's exciting, right? And then you talked about, well, I asked you about free agents. I think it makes Houston attractive.
Yes, it
And
does.
and then Lermy Tunsil helping out by saying, let's go. Steven Nelson by saying, having a good tweet. Hey, bro, you were here for a year. Shout out to Steven Nelson.
For real.
How much better you think him and Petrie and Stingley and Desmond King? Shout out to Desmond King.
Dude.
Bro. Immediate impact can be there. I'm sorry. Immediate improvement can be there for the Houston Texans. The trenches have to be fixed, though, in my opinion. Maybe on both sides. Maybe De'Aaron Payne wants to come play for Demico Ryans.
Demico wanted to coach in Houston.
My dream job.
Exactly. And that is something the Denver fan base can't wrap their heads around.
Oh, hey, listen, bro. The amount of Denver and fans in my mentions.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
That right there. Because they have been going crazy on the YouTube comments for me on the Texans hired Demico Ryans. Look, man, it's not my fault. Cal Shiesty put on his thing, and he got in that night, got the Glock out and was like, hey, I'm Mr. Steele, your head coaching candidate right now. Hey. Okay, let me go get Demico.
What did it say about Cal?
Man, dude.
Let's be honest, bro, because listen, I was saying, bro, this dude's an idiot last year.
It's true. It's true.
Someone called the cops on me, Harley, when I was at NRG.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was the first person there in that horrible Deshaun Watson march. and I got the law called on me immediately. I think it was Cal. Nonetheless, you see him go Monster Jam.
Yes.
You see him grill burgers in the beginning of this season.
Yes.
Talking about things the Houston Texans wanted to talk about, the uniform change. Lermy Tunsil posted a picture of Cal McNair. I don't think Lermy Tunsil does that unless he's cool with ownership. I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm not taking pictures with my boss.
No.
But yet Lermy Tunsil is.
Exactly.
Shout out to Figgy Fig from In the Loop with the age.
Bro.
This is what you wanted to see, right? You always hear better late than never.
Yeah.
And when it's this situation and you realize that I've only won 7 games in 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Really 11-3. I saw how empty the stadiums were this year.
Yeah, they were bad.
I went to 2 games. It was horrible. There was no energy. There was none. And that's not, that's not used to that's not what I remember. I remember opponents being scared coming to Houston. I remember being loud. I remember seeing the TV shake here at NRG or back then Reliance Stadium. And I feel like it could get back to that, Harley. I really do.
Too. I do too. Look, Demeco is going to attract free agents. We've seen the guys from the 49ers. That's the easy connection. But it's just around the league too. From former players, from front office people, from people around the media.
Yep.
Players talk.
Yep.
Media talks to these players.
Yep.
Like you tell me Ryan Clark doesn't talk to these players right now.
Yep.
He does. And hey, if there's someone young that maybe hasn't had that opportunity to showcase themselves enough in the league, hey man, go play for Demico Ryans. Watch what he can do for you. You know, like someone like a De'Aaron Payne with a defensive line like the Commanders they're deep, okay? And yes, he's very talented and he gets his playing time.
25 years old.
Yeah, but he's going to get the light on him. The spotlight would be on him to improve this defensive line along with Demico Ryans, along with Chris Kosterick. Demico's going to attract people. And what you said about the secondary, you got the building blocks in Derek Stingley and Jalen Petrie. And then you got other guys too, like your Steven Nelson, like your Desmond King, hell, Tavier Thomas, Tremont Smith would look really good last year for you. You got a lot of depth in the secondary. But what is the biggest key to the 49ers is that they build through the defensive line.
Yep.
That's what they do. And then they worry about the secondary later. Well, guess what? You have a secondary.
You already have it. You've had the best secondary you've had in the past 4 or 5 years.
Yes. So, and it's not anything crazy, great or anything. I think Stingley can now turn into.
Someone send $3 so we could buy Harley some new batteries. Listen, I love you, Harley. I'm going to have to give you shit. Beep, beep, beep. Come on, brother. It's time. It's time. It is time to get batteries in that smoke alarm.
Look, I'm going to have a live video of this smoke alarm. And whoever is the highest bidder can have the smoke alarm, and I will mail it to them. Okay, like the smoke alarm effect in there is just great. Everyone in the comment section for my YouTube page for the last 2 months.
In this,
it's been 2 months too.
Drop a W for Harley smoke alarm. We definitely need it. Can you imagine a defensive line of De'Aaron Payne and Will or Jalen Carter? You're also adding in Jonathan Grenard, who was injured last season, but kind of flashed the final 3 games. You're adding Jerry Hughes, who you weren't really expecting him to do anything last year, yet he led you in sacks.
You never know what you could get from him this year. I'll take the chance again.
Bring back Malik Collins.
No problem with that.
Big Sexy's still here.
I love him. I'm biased.
And like you just mentioned, the secondary set, Petrie, Jonathan Owens, Derek Stingley, Steven Nelson, Desmond King.
You could use a safety next to Jalen Petrie. Let's be real.
I mean, like I said, we mentioned Jimmy Ward. Can you?
That's not bad at all. You know, and really, I wouldn't mind adding 2 safeties because Jimmy Ward and Jalen Petrie can both. Jimmy Ward and Jalen Petrie can both. They could both alternate from that strong safety position / play in the box. They both do that very well. Hey, there's that guy in Cincinnati I hear.
Jesse.
If they don't want to pay him, if they don't want to pay my boy Jesse Bates, I understand he had a little bit of a down year this year, but there ain't gonna be no down years when you're playing with Demico Ryans. Let's just say that, buddy. Let's just say that.
Bro,
Jesse Bates. Woo.
Our free agent video or pod is going to be exciting because dude, I really think you think this offseason is fun. Wait till next offseason.
Oh, man.
Let's say the Houston Texans get a little bit of success, right? Because honestly, realistically, I'm going to say this right now before I get too carried away. I still think the Houston Texans are winning 4 to 5 games next year.
Yes.
Let me say that right now before I love Demeco. What you are looking for is the same stuff that you should have seen last season. Improvement with your young core. Let me name you the young core, Harley. Let me know if this is it. Stingley.
Yep.
Petrie,
Yep.
Harris,
Yep.
Kenyon Green,
Yes.
Nico Collins,
Yes.
Damian Pierce.
For sure.
You need them under Demeco.
John Mechie.
John Menchie, hey, according to Nick Casario, looks bigger, looks faster. I'm excited, dude. I am excited because you see the young core there, and the young core flashed at moments. They did, but there was no improvement. There was no
Yeah.
improvement throughout the season, and you saw it, right? And with Demico, you are thinking, yes, this guy can develop talent, right? As much praise as we give the 49ers defense, the only consistent spot was Nick Bosa. There was injuries along the defensive line. Charles Omenihu wasn't really giving anything. They had to move people up and down the practice squad. So it's like you see the amount of success he has with with talent, and you're just waiting for him to bring it out and excited for him to bring it out. And for the players already, Patrick Storm, he dropped about 12, 13, 14 former player quotes and how
Dude.
everyone is excited for the Houston Texans. And man, dude, it's I'm just ready.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Look, there's what did we hear? Like, there's going to be a bunch of former players coming back for
Yeah.
tomorrow's press conference. There's going to be a lot of former players, a lot of familiar faces. It's going to be a fun day tomorrow. I'm so excited for it, man. And it's going to feel like that Bulls on Parade, man.
Bulls on Parade is a name we haven't heard in years, Harley. We haven't heard it in years, and I remember it. I remember them saying, "We're gonna blitz you every single time." Who was that? Connor Barron, right? He said,
Yeah.
yeah, we also, love getting to the quarterback, but we love, stopping the run too. And man, it's been a while since I've seen an NFL offense be scared of the Houston Texans D.
Yes.
I love,
Defense.
dude. I love hearing that all the former players are excited, are endorsed. If you are Demico Ryans, bro, you're literally thinking that you fell into the perfect situation, because now you have 40 to 60 mil to mess around with in the off season, and then you have 2 first-round picks, and now we can have these convos, Harley.
Yep.
Who are we gonna take at 2? Because you can honestly say me. I'm still saying it's Bryce Young.
Yeah.
You go with the 5'9", 6 foot, 180 QB out of Alabama, who last year won the Heisman, won the Natty, and lost Jameson Williams, lost
Mm-hmm.
John Menchie, still puts up 3,000 yards and 20 plus touchdowns, first round pick numbers. Bryce Young is supposed to be the number 1 overall pick this year, right?
Yeah.
However, you look at CJ Stroud, you look at the last game against Georgia, and you say, I could be fine with CJ Stroud. He does have the arm. He is somewhat accurate. I could see him. But then when you add in Demico Ryans, you look at the defensive players available.
Yes.
You look at
Yes.
Will the Terminator Anderson, who had 10 sacks this season, dominant against the pass and run. Then you have Jalen Carter from Georgia, who may be the best player in this draft.
Yeah.
The possibilities are now open, because you don't know what Demeco is gonna do at QB. You're already hearing Trey Lance say, "I want to come here." Imagine how many other veteran QBs want a shot.
True. True. Look, I'm excited about the draft, and when I look at number 2, I could see why with the Demeco hire, I could see us not taking a quarterback at 2.
Yep.
We haven't talked about the name a lot. I want to mention it. What are your ideas on
Don't say
Anthony
we'll leave
Richardson
this.
at 12?
Okay. Anthony Richardson, Florida. I don't think he makes it a 12, Harley.
I think his combine is going to help him.
I think his combine is going to help him.
Pro day.
But if you're the Houston Texans, and right now everything's going in your favor,
Yeah.
why not? And here's the thing about Anthony Richardson. You know he's a project.
Yes.
And 50% completion at Florida. However, wide receivers also dropped a lot of balls there at Florida. There is no question about his arm strength. He has
No.
a cannon. There is sometimes he is accurate, but most of the time he is inaccurate,
True.
right? But when he runs the ball and that threat of him running the ball is there, he is electric. I have that play against Utah where he's under center and he immediately gets blitzed by two defenders. He pump fakes one, gets him in the air. The second guy is already about to sack him, spins out of him, and then finds a Florida Gator in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. I like Anthony Richardson, Harley. I'm glad you bring him up. And the only question is, if you were to take an Anthony Richardson, you would want someone like an offensive-minded coach, like a Shane Steichman or Ben Johnson coaching him. But AR-15 is called AR-15 for a reason. That's a
Look,
great that's something exciting to talk about.
I'll say this, and I have no problem taking him at 12 if he's there, you
Okay.
know.
No
But
issue. I would
no,
say I would say, okay, look, dude, imagine them saying, Harley, the Houston Texans ended this offseason with Demico Ryans, whoever they got in free agency, and either Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, or Anthony Richardson. What would your reaction be?
I'd be stupid excited.
Yes.
I mean, if you let's say you had Will Anderson and Anthony Richardson in the first round, and then the 33rd pick, you got either maybe Siaki Ika from Baylor
Yep.
or a Keyshawn Butte, wide receiver from LSU, or Hyatt, I believe, from Tennessee, Gibbs from Alabama. Like Joe Mama says hi. You know, whatever it is, like a culmination of that is excitement right there. Anthony Richardson, I will say, if you get Demico Ryans, you're most likely going to have a Kubiak Shanahan system, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what have we always said about the Kubiak system? If we had a mobile quarterback, if we had someone that was mobile, we would be unstoppable.
Imagine
Okay?
Deshaun in that.
Exactly. Like we always said that Deshaun came too early for us. If he was there during Kubiak's time, we're holding the Lombardi trophy. And we're still competing for them today.
Yeah.
Like there's levels to what Matt Schaub did successfully with Gary Kubiak.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate what he did. And he was mobile when he needed to be, especially on the bootlegs. That was his bread and butter. That's Kubiak's bread and butter. Is
And
the
in the
play
Pro
action
Bowls.
bootleg. And give it to Owen Daniels, or throw it across back to the field to Arian Foster on a wheel route, or Andre Johnson's wide open. Let me have Schaub throw it to him, underthrow it to him, and Andre makes a play. Like that was a typical Texan Sunday. You'd go in there and you knew that you were going to do bootlegs. Arian was going to do cutbacks, and Schaub will underthrow Andre Johnson, and Andre will make a play. That was a Texan Sunday for you. Now, if you had someone like Anthony Richardson in that offense with, I believe you need to upgrade center, and we both agree to this.
Garrett
But
Bradbury.
yes, to me, you need a veteran center if you're getting a young QB, a rookie QB. I think a veteran center is, I mean, it screams veteran center because that relationship you have between your center, if it's a veteran, it even helps that rookie quarterback so much more. You got to grab him. you got to grab Bradbury.
Yeah.
Like, I am all in for him. If they want to go cheaper, then maybe a Nick McGovern could
Bradley
be there
Bozeman.
too. You know, that's not a bad idea, but I'm all for Bradbury. And I had asked in the group chat, because you were talking about how valuable he was to that Vikings offensive line and to that
Yeah.
offense. And
He
I'm like, well, if he's
came
as
back
valuable,
the last
why would
like 2 games.
yeah, like, well, if he's as valuable, why would the Vikings let him go? And Cody immediately, boom, answers to my question. Well, hey man, they're looking at possibly,
They're negative.
yeah, they're in the cap negative, and they're looking to extend Justin Jefferson, and they got to look at Kirk Cousins again.
Yep.
Like, I know whatever happened to them. That's
You
besides the point.
you bring
But
back Kurt.
well, things will get real fast for the Minnesota Vikings if they move on from Kirk Cousins.
Absolutely.
You don't know what's going to happen now to that team, because
No.
I know Kirk Cousins shit the bed in the playoffs. I know he's not primetime Kirk. He's 12 o'clock Kirk. He plays great games at 12 o'clock, none at 3:30, none at 7 o'clock. But you still won 11, 12 games with the guy. You can't just give up on him unless you got an alternate route, maybe a Derek Carr. How much better is Derek Carr to Kirk Cousins? Exactly. So, with all that being said, and being in the negative cap, Houston Texans have a prime golden opportunity to improve this offensive line in a major way in Garrett Bradbury.
Garrett Bradbury is good. Bradley Bozeman is good.
Yes. Yes.
You got to invest in the trenches, man. And it's just, you could sell me on Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
Right.
Me too.
But you have to take a QB in the first round. I
can agree
as
with
long
that.
as it's not Will Levis, bro. As long
Hey
as
man, he
it's
was
not-
rocking a Rockets jersey.
no, he could do whatever they do. He could get the H tatted on him. I don't give a flying fuck, Will Levis. Get your ass to Indianapolis.
Hey man, you got the Will Levis stands out there.
Imagine Anthony Richardson, Damian Pierce, and at 33, right? You talk about who you could take.
I know who you get going with.
Hey man, the right guard, Osiris, which is his last name,
Cyrus
Osiris,
Torrance.
a monster.
Just a mauler.
He'll be there at 30 at 33.
And now imagine your offensive line of Laramie Tunsil, Kenyon Green, Garrett Bradbury, Cyrus Torrance, and Titus Howard. Woo!
And here's the thing, bro. The offensive line, the last six, 7 games was good for the Houston Texans. And you see improvement in the offensive line. They just need a center and a right guard. And it's like when Sean Payton himself said you see immediate improvement. I look at our division and I'm like, man, dude, Demeco came at a perfect time. You could really start I don't want to say like make moves in the first year and try to make the playoffs and stuff like that, but you could see the Houston Texans being competitive.
I can see why you think that way. Let's take a look real quick at the division.
And Tennessee 91 people in here, Harley. Shout out to everyone in here. This is blowing up.
The Tennessee Titans.
Go ahead.
As we know right now, yes, they still have Derrick Henry. Yes, they still have Mike Vrabel and company. Solid improving defense, I will add. But there's a big question mark at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
And they were there with the Kansas City Chiefs about 3-4 years ago in the AFC Championship game. And they lost that game. A lot of it was because of the quarterback. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Derrick Henry can only go so far. He's starting to break down.
Yeah.
And Ryan Tannehill, a lot of injuries last year. Malik Willis is not the answer. We saw that. No. He is not the answer.
It was, bro, King. They were top, dude. They had this dude top 3, top 1 maybe.
those dumbasses that were taking him was just insane. Like I would never. Guy out of Liberty, like you gotta be stupid special. You know, like Trey Lance came out of North Dakota, but he was 6'5", 230, cannon of an arm, mobility. Carson Wentz, same thing, 6'4", 220. You know, yeah, these guys came out of the FCS, but the build, the frame, like they checked off the boxes that you wanted to check off for the quarterback, you know. So look, man. Do you want to answer that real quick? You look a little excited about that.
I have a story.
Here we
And
go.
if
Here
this
we go.
if this gets me in trouble.
Story time with 713.
So check this out. This glass, the Samuel Adams Oktoberfest. So I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh boy.
And I maybe had the worst server of all time. Sweet person, right? Very respectful. Yes, you know, like yes, sir, yes, ma'am. However, she favored the table behind us a lot more. And we were there for like an hour and a half. I had to legit call her 8 times. And I was like, you know what? I'm not a Karen. I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to, you know, relax. And then I look to my left and I see that they're having a raffle for their Oktoberfest. And there's 10 mugs like this and a cooler full of, you know, like liquor and stuff like that. Well, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a damn mug. And I stood up, Harley, and I fucking grabbed one and ran away.
I don't believe you.
Hand of God. Hand of God. Hand of God.
You telling me
Hand of
you
God.
stole from a B-Dubs?
Yeah, because it was right on the table and they were doing a raffle for it.
You have no shame?
I was giving bad service when I asked for extra crispy on the fucking fried pickles and they come out soggy, right? They come out soggy. I get a cheese stick with no cheese in it.
There ain't no way you got cheese stick.
I get a Blue Moon and the lemon was only this tiny. Are you kidding me? I was warranted. Okay. It's not like I robbed the other 9. Now, someone who won that set is mad as hell because they didn't get the complete set. But, bro,
my God,
hand of God, that is true. Like for real, bro. It was the fucking. It's the B-Dubs in downtown. Oh my God. Never mind that. But bro, dude, like Andres said, shout out to Andres. Mug deserve, bro. You give me a cheese stick with no cheese. I have to ask you 10 times, you know, it's fine if I get bad service, but you give the missus bad service, now we have an issue, right?
Okay.
You know, now you have to do something because you're like, okay, I'm not okay with this, you know? And when they ask, you know, and when you ask for all flats and you don't get all flats, there's a problem. Now you're about to get me mad. Okay, hold on. Now you're about to get me mad because when you ask for 15 lemon pepper hot and then you get half lemon, half lemon pepper and half hot and not mixed together, that will make you mad, wouldn't it, Harley?
Wait a minute. Let's back this up. You're an all flats guy?
No. The missus is.
Okay.
So, you know, she asked for all flats. It didn't get there. I love lemon pepper hot.
Yeah.
But if you give me lemon pepper and then hot, no cheese in a cheese stick, horrible service. Dude, why the fuck are we talking about this? Go on, dude. What do you think about Nick Caserio making this higher, bro? Because honestly, horrible. I think when you're Nick Caserio and when you're going into this season, you're stressed, right? You're thinking, I have to hire my third head coach in 3 years, and I just had to deal with trading Deshaun, and I had to deal with no cap, and we know this hire wasn't really Nick's number one choice per se.
Yeah.
We know it was Gannon.
Yes.
Let's be honest with ourselves.
But he
Him,
wasn't against it.
you know, and that's what I'm saying. It's not like he was against Demico, you know, wasn't his number one choice. But for him to say, all right, I understand what you want. I understand what the team needs. Let's work together. And let's, and let's get, and let's bring in a Demico Ryans.
Mm-hmm.
And let me solely focus on, on being a general manager.
No problem with that, man. Again, you hiring Demico Ryans tells me that you have an aligned vision, and you telling me now that you're willing to step out of the comfort zone a little bit because it wasn't his number one guy. He's willing to bend.
Yes.
And that is something that you'd like to see from Nick Caserio, who I would say from local people, the fans and local media, he's created that kind of moniker that it's his way. You got to go by his way with the headsets and him being on the headset and doing little, other things. What do you got to add?
No.
Oh,
I was agreeing with you. I was agreeing with you. I would,
so
there's no question it's Nick Caserio.
Exactly. So him hiring Demeco tells me, hey guys, and the press conference too.
Go ahead.
Showcase.
I was just about to bring that up.
Exactly. Like, definitely. Sorry for getting you out, my guy. Look, man, fried pickles is atrocious. That's disgusting.
Soggy fried pickles.
Fried pickles are disgusting. I don't care if they're gorgeously fried. Get that crap out my face. Crap out my face. I definitely feel like we won the Super Bowl yesterday. Like,
yes.
I have not seen.
Like, exactly. You're happy.
I have not seen a fan base buzz. I have not seen the city of Houston buzz like this since the Astros of 2017.
Bro, I look like little baby, dude. When he was like that, when was the last time we were excited talking about the Houston Texans, bro? And this is what I've been saying. This is what we've been saying, Harley. Like,
right over his head.
The excitement, bro, is already there.
Chat, I don't know if anyone caught that joke. It went right over your head, dog.
What happened?
I'll repeat it again. The city of Houston hasn't had this amount of buzz since the 2017 Astros.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure, right?
With the buzzers, of course.
Oh, yeah, no, hey, bro, listen, the Astros cheated. We don't care. Dude, I don't give a damn. Listen, bro, if we
Evan Drellich.
Bro, the Astros are going to win this motherfucker again. We just signed the MVP of 2 years ago. Dude, I saw this little guy from TikTok say the Houston Astros were on the way down.
Oh, you saw that.
And I was like, are you high?
This dumb fuck is talking about the Rangers? The Rangers?
The Yankees?
Like, she's the evil witch of the West, bro? Are you going to argue with me? Like, dude, the Rangers?
The AL for the past 5 years.
The Rangers. Maybe you can make the argument for the Mariners. I can maybe see it. I can delve into my 5% chance that the Mariners do that. 5% chance. And that's too high for me. But the Rangers, the team that has paid 2 infielders, Simeon, who didn't do crap, Seager, who, he had a great year. What does that do for me? They were still one of the worst teams in the league. The Rangers? Oh, man, you want to get me hot. Talk about that fake-ass story you want to talk about.
Chris said it better. Eddie Guerrero taught me to lie, to cheat, and steal. I don't care the Astros did it. Hey, man, shout out for the WWE.
That's a dub right there. Dub for Chris, man.
Bro, that Royal Rumble was absolutely fire. Shout out to the mommy, Rhea Ripley, for winning it.
Oof.
And Cody Rhodes is. I mean, we all knew he was. Cody Rhodes was gonna win, but Sammy turning on the tribal chief.
I was expecting it sooner or
Wait,
later.
wait, but then Jey Uso
Mm-hmm.
walking out the ring, walking away. This is why y'all need to listen to the HOU versus you podcast, because Harley, we do everything. Astros, Rockets. I mean, the Rockets are in a worse situation than what the Houston Texans are now. I don't hear any Houston Rockets people talking anything now. Where is the I will never watch a game again? Where is that? I'm sorry.
I'm waiting.
Where is this team is so dysfunctional? Oh my God.
I'm waiting,
Don't get
man.
me started on Rockets Twitter. Oh, dude.
I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting on it. Like,
What did Michael Scott said? How the turntables have turned.
exactly.
How the turntables have fucking turned.
Like they were on their high horse when the Texans won that last game against the Colts.
Oh, no, listen. And Andres is a huge Rockets fan. Fuck the Rockets, dude. They suck. And I love the Rockets, bro.
Sure. They might be on the up, but it's not happening right now. You had 6 first-round picks. You should be on the up right now, should you? You should have added more veterans. Let's blame the roster structure. Let's blame Raphael Stone. Let's bring Steven Silas. Let's get out of here, man. Nah, man. 3rd seed by 2025. 3rd seed. The 3rd seed. Who are we dethroning? The Memphis Grizzlies are going to be there. Look at the Pelicans. This man, Zion, is about to be the next LeBron. He's about to overtake the NBA. Look at Doncic, you still be there. Steph Curry, 2025. Maybe we'll see with the Warriors. But
yeah,
I got to see it to believe it. Jalen Green is very inconsistent for me still. I love what he can do. He's still inconsistent for me.
Look, man, Austin Rivers and everyone has been saying the same thing we've been saying, and that is that the Houston Rockets need a coach. It used to be the Houston Rockets and the Houston Texans need a coach, but the Houston Texans go out there, and as I finish this 6-pack, and then we can finish the stream, Harley, because we've knocked it out the park. Almost 300 people have joined so far. When you're talking about the window for the Houston Texans, and I'm gonna put you on the spot again, as I always do, and shout out to the Harley at the lead. Been doing this for just as long as me, brother. Hey, we're here. They said that the Astros need Yuli Gurriel back. I don't think so, brother. I love you.
I love you.
Shout out to you, brother. But you nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly.
At this point. And if you are a WWE fan, nostalgia kills you at the very end of the day.
Sam Cassell there. It's not a bad name to look into.
Look at the chat already talking about the Rockets. Eric B said, "What beer are you drinking?" I am drinking Blue Moon. I had told Harley I had to go to 3 different Blue Moons.
Eric B.
Eric B.
Dude, he's not in Colorado because he's banned from that state.
Banned from Colorado. What is the window for the Houston Texans, Harley? How long? Because like we both said, even though we're very hyped about this hiring and hyped about the future on what's about to happen, I'm going to give it another 2 to 3 years, man, before we're even talking about sniffing the playoffs. And it's going to be hard because let them go out there and sign a big free agent like a De'Aaron Payne or a Jimmy Ward or someone like that. It's going to be hard not to be hyped about the Houston Texans. And then when they draft the QB, you're thinking, bro, dude, the change is coming. However, I'm saying 2 to 3.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think the earliest they can compete is in legitimately compete is 2 years.
And now all that could change, right? We've seen crazier shit happen.
Yes. You can have a Seattle Seahawks kind of draft, or maybe you go and have a Jacksonville Jaguars kind of free agency. Mm-hmm. If you have one of those 2 things happen to you in the next 2 years, hey, you're talking about a team that, and when I say legitimately compete, I'm talking at least be in the playoffs and make some noise in the playoffs. Look what the Jaguars did.
Yeah.
I understand that the Chargers, they just seem like the unluckiest team in football. How the hell do you fuck up Drew Brees, LaDainian Tomlinson? You fuck up Phillip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson. Now you're fucking up Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, and his injuries, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler. Like, the Chargers got to be cursed or something. There's some brujeria or something going on with the Chargers, man. There's something there. For them to lose to the Jaguars up 27, we beat the Jaguars. We're ass cheeks.
Twice, right?
No, we didn't, but because they beat us the second time.
Okay,
they actually handed us a good beat down for the first time in their in like, I think 6 years.
Yeah.
All needless to say, the Houston Texans should be competing in 2 years.
Yep.
At worst, and this is at worst, and if you're giving him the time, which he should, I think if you're hiring Demico Ryans, then you got to trust Demico Ryans, and you got to trust the process that's going to be with him. And if it takes a little longer than 2 to 3 years, if it takes 4 years, which I think 4 years is at worst, your time to be competing, is 4 years. Because if you draft a quarterback right now, 4 years from now, he's up for contract.
Yeah.
And if you're competing then, that's horrible. And again, that's at worst. So I'd rather, if you're going to draft a quarterback, hey, Rockets won over the Thunder.
Is that 2 wins? Wait, is that 2 wins without Jalen? Come on now.
Don't start with the narratives. Wait, I got to ask, and because I didn't even look. I don't even know if was Steven Silas back at coaching. I know he didn't coach in the last game. They're 2-0 with John Lucas.
Bro, he needs to be gone, bro. I'm sorry, dude.
I'm quite interested.
Okay, hold on. DJ Amazing said yes. So was Silas there or not?
Yeah. So if he's saying yes, then yeah. So he's telling me that Silas was there. Okay. Hey, they won a game with Silas. Hey, there's not many of those. What are there's like 11 of those? I mean, 12, 13, like. Look, I will say that, yeah, and it is 112-106. Eric Gordon had 25 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds for the game, and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander dropped to 24. But I will say this before we get going. What is your predictions for WrestleMania?
I'm thinking The Rock comes back at Elimination Chamber.
Ooh, I don't know, man.
I'm thinking, I mean, honestly, with the way it's going now, you don't need The Rock.
You don't.
You need Sammy and Roman.
Yeah. I know Cody Rhodes he's gonna win the title, right? In WrestleMania. Like, I think that's that's written on the wall. He wants the title.
Yes, but how do you play it out? Does Sammy interfere?
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. And personally,
look, he said WWE's overrated. It was until Triple H took over.
That's a fact. WWE was falling fast,
horrible,
and it was really bad. But exactly, Sami Zayn. I think Cody Rhodes win. Well, that would be interesting. Do they split? Well, obviously they gotta split the titles. Who's got a better win percentage, the Rockets or the Texans? Let's see. The Texans were 12-1 or something like that. Like, so what? We're looking at Okay, so the Texans had a 25% winning percentage this year. Okay, now what? Let me go to the chat real quick because they update the record every single day. Shout out to my Rockets chat. They are some diehards, man. I respect them. I really do. They be talking about the Rockets and poor them because my goodness, they are 13-38 right now. So if we are doing that off the top of our head, the Rockets at 13-38 have a 34% winning percentage. So congratulations. You feel better that 34% is better than 25. Wow, that is amazing. We are so hyped that the Rockets losing percentage is better than the Texans losing percentage. Let's go, boys. Yes, Rockets, Rockets, Rockets. Let's go. 34 percentage.
And that is a great way to end it. Harley, let them know where they can find you. You do a
I
great
will
job. You have a lot of great things coming.
I will plug my tweet real quick, and not in the comment section, and well, maybe I can whenever the live ends. So check it out in the comment section if you haven't. But you can find me at the lead underscore HOU. The biggest thing that I am looking for is the biggest thing. Hey man, I'm a Rocket fan. I'm a Rocket fan too, man. I'm a Rocket fan too. It's rough to watch. The biggest thing for me right now is I'm almost at 1,500 subscribers.
Okay.
And my ultimate goal is to get 1,500 more this year. I want 3,000 subscribers. The way you can reach this giveaway, you want to
Okay.
enter a giveaway. Demico Ryans autograph signed football. I don't have it on me right now because it's quite a little bit of a walk, but the Demico Ryans signed autographed football is available if anybody wants it. All you got to do to enter the giveaway, you got to follow the HOU versus You podcast. You got to follow at the lead underscore HOU on Twitter. And you got to subscribe to my channel, The Lead. Search up The Lead Houston, The Lead Houston Sports, whatever you got to do to find it. Okay, or you want to DM me, you want to go to Twitter, check the links, subscribe, follow those two other accounts, and you'll be entered into the giveaway. And I am quite ashamed because I'm looking at the HOU versus You follower account, and it's only at 55. So that tells me there's only 55 people that are in this giveaway, which is a sweet deal. Where is the podcast? You can find the podcast anywhere on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts also has it as well. You can find it on YouTube. You can watch us on YouTube. We post the videos on YouTube. So we are still live. The battery is still beeping. Patrick Storm still wants Greg Roman, and that is very upsetting to me. I do not know why. The man is done. Get Greg Roman out of my fucking city. I don't
Patrick
want that guy
Storm,
in my
if
city.
you want to join the live, you have 5 minutes to message me on Twitter.
It's all right, man. He missed a great show. He missed a great
show, but Patrick was handling the Twitter spaces. We're trying to, like I said, Harley, we're trying to take that over. We're honestly trying to take over all of Houston Texans media. When it's a group of me, you, John Crumpler from the Texans Wire, Patrick Storm, the fans with sources, Cody Johnson. Let me see who else, because we have some bangers. We have Austin in the chat also. We're deadly. We have Jair as well. Whenever he comes back, we're nasty and we're coming.
Shout out to Austin.
Shout out to Austin.
My man Austin. Austin Murray.
With that being said, that is Harley. I have some news for everyone. It brings me pleasure and honor to say this, but I have finally, done something I've wanted to do for a very long time. I've joined the network. Shout out to the Believe Network, where they run mostly podcasts, NFL podcasts. I will be running the Houston Texans portion. It used to be, ran by Jordan from Texans Thoughts, but he's doing great things.
Yeah,
However,
he's big time.
He's big time. I will be filling in that role. I don't know who is my co-host. Yes. Who was my co-host yet? It should be Quentin Quentin Demps. But he just took a head coaching role.
Yeah, he did.
It might just be me running the podcast. Harley, I'm gonna have you on. I'm gonna have Patrick Storm on. I'm gonna have every single person on. But this is great news for me. Something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. Finally got this. 4 years in the making, and you're next, Harley.
He's blocked, man. I think Austin's blocked. Let's be real.
Nonetheless, we are H-Town till we drown here. We bring you real, unfiltered content. We're not paid by anyone. You know, we we started this stuff, Harley, because we care about this team so much that it affects our life outside of Sundays.
Yeah, I'm right there
And
with you. I started this. I never knew this was a thing.
no,
Like, until one that day you invited me to your parents' home and we did a free agency video, and I was like,
yes,
free agency video? What are you talking about? Like, you talk Texans on YouTube, and I'm like, what? You can do that? Like, if I knew that, man, I would have been doing that. Still not using his mic. Look, man. I use it for other things. I got so many things I'm doing, Mr.
Harley has
Storm.
the
Okay,
OnlyFans. Only
okay,
Harley.
man. I gotta get the farts in on the OnlyFans. I gotta get it in, man. God, bring our comments. Save our comments. Shout out Officer Chang. Save our comments.
Nonetheless, me and Harley, we're raw, we're unfiltered, and we're going to be as honest as we can. When shit goes wrong, we're gonna tell you when it goes wrong. When stuff goes right, we're gonna just blast it out there. I am Ruben from the 713 Houston Sports. That is Harley from the lead. This concludes today's episode. As always, go Houston, Texans, Rockets, Astros. Darius lives in, Memphis, Tennessee, and he loves the Texans. Shout out to you. You guys have a very blessed day.